Check, check. This thing on? All right, man. All right. So, welcome. Welcome to, you're actually my first person I've interviewed here on the podcast media. So, bear with us. We're all learning together here, man. All
Well, I
right.
feel honored.
Yeah. So basically, man, we're just going to talk a little bit today, chit chat. Let's say, tell me how you got into the lawnmower, Jim.
Oh man, it was a fluke, dude.
Was it?
Yeah, it really was. I was a HVAC tech down in Louisiana, and my wife
Oh
and I.
man, you admit that, huh?
Yeah, not really.
Not really.
I'm holding back on. But anyway, moved up to North Dakota, and 6 months later, I was getting some HVAC parts through the utility up there,
Yeah.
and I just asked him, I was like, man, if y'all are ever hiring, let me know. And the manager just happened to say, hey, we got a spot open.
No kidding.
And
Just walked into it, huh?
yeah, just kind of walked into it and got lucky. And I must have been rubbing my little lucky alligator foot.
Maybe so.
Yeah,
The old banana, the old rabbit's foot. The old
that's right.
rabbit's foot. Yeah.
That's right. Down in
So,
Louisiana, though,
go,
we have an alligator toe.
oh, is that what y'all are? The alligator toe.
That's
All
right.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So where was you living when you started doing line work there?
I was in Dickinson, North Dakota.
Okay.
And
Oh,
worked the western half of North Dakota into eastern Montana. And I worked there for about 7 years and then transferred down to Sheridan, Wyoming. And then I got into, I transferred from being a troubleman to on the line crew and worked there for another 7 years. And then I transferred as a district rep up to Beulah, North Dakota, where I was at an outpost. I was the only one that was in a 3-town area, and I worked out of a little home office, and I had a little garage with some parts and stuff.
yeah.
Did that for a couple of years, and then transferred back down to Sheridan.
Okay.
And
All
now I'm
right.
sitting here with you.
All right, man. All right. So did you do some time there in Louisiana, or is that just like I know
That's
you.
where that's where I developed webbed toes
Okay.
when I was a kid.
I got
No, I
you.
was born in Atlanta, lived in Middle Georgia till I was 12, and then my parents got a job in Louisiana, and I lived in Baton Rouge. Then we got a camp down in Pier Park and stayed there, and then back up to Baton Rouge and on to North Dakota.
All right. I got you. I
Yeah.
got you. So nowadays you teach apprentices. Is that correct?
Yeah, I work for a school here in South Carolina, and we get to work with contracting students and get them through their apprenticeship, and it's a lot of fun, man. I work with some really great people. We got a super solid team, and it's just a really positive experience.
That's great, man. I know you used to teach the ELP, so tell me what's the difference, the biggest difference you see in actually teaching apprentice
Well,
lineman and
uh,
pre-apprentice lineman.
the biggest difference is these guys that are coming in, they have a little more experience under their belt. Some of the guys have never been through an apprenticeship before, so we work with guys that are from fresh hire, and some of them could have up to 15 plus years experience in the field, but they're going through an accredited apprenticeship.
I see. I got you.
Uh, so we get to work with those guys and run them through all the subjects: rigging, transformer connections, grounding, climbing, you name it. We do it, and we're also expanding. We're going to be getting into some journeyman level training. We're putting in a substation. We're going to actually heat it up. Get in on some bare hand work. and
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, that's real awesome.
uh, we're going to have a lot of focus on underground. Um, Not to mention a lot of overhead, but we're going to be adding some underground construction to what we have, and we're going to be getting into some wire pulling courses.
Mhm.
Uh, we're going to get into radial ties, things of that kind of nature, splicing, terminating. Uh,
Man.
and uh, I was lucky enough to get in on this on a ground floor level. In fact, last summer when I moved up here, I was the only person on the campus.
Oh, wow.
And now we have a director, we have a director's associate, and then we have, let's see, I got to count them out. We got one, two, three, four, five, six trainers on staff now, along with one of them is a lead instructor. Uh,
Mhm.
his name is Chip Bruner, and super great guy. Awesome place to work.
Great, man. Great. So, so when you did your as a journeyman lineman there, so you worked with apprentices clearly through your career. You got any good stories about an apprentice during your time there when you was
Uh,
still on the line? I know you got several coming to
we got
mind there. Yeah,
we got a few. As you know, in our trade, there's all walks of life.
yeah,
We have cutting edge technology guys on down to robbing them out of the cradle.
right.
And
Oh,
anyway, we had one guy, he was working with us. I'm not going to mention any names,
there you
but
go.
he's a great guy. Uh, and he got a heart the size of Texas. And but anyway, he got flustered really easy, and we were going to raise up a pad mount transformer, and he was working with this foreman that had a really hot head
Oh
and
yeah.
liked to mess with this guy. Well, anyway, we weren't using nylon slings raising this transformer. We was going to use a chain, and anyway, the foreman startled the guy, and the guy threw the chain into the cabinet of the pad mount,
Oh
hot pad
no.
mount, might I add.
Oh man. Oh
And
no.
anyway, luckily it didn't land across any of the secondary bus or anything like that. But super close call,
Yeah. Sure
uh,
enough.
with that. But yeah, it was a scenario. And then I mean there's been countless I could just go on and on and on about things. Working blizzards, in Williston, North Dakota, I worked at Blizzard there back in 2011.
Yeah.
Uh, One in Center, North Dakota. It was just a wild time out there. We were all the sub transmission had been destroyed, and we was rebuilding it. And we had a Cat D9 uh, linking the trucks up, dropping us off at structure to structure to structure, and then when we had finished one structure, the cat would come back and drag us across the pasture to another one, and just uh, it was just wide open, man.
Yeah, I've been in that scenario before a lot in Texas. You know, they have the pastures with no bottoms, as they call it. You know, and
Exactly.
yeah, man, you just be driving along that pasture, all of a sudden that truck just boom sink out of
Oh,
sight. You
that's right.
know, so they'd hook that dozer to you, and that's a heck of a ride when you're getting pulled through a pasture. No bottom, that thing will come up out there, roll on the ground a little bit, then boom back
Oh
in,
yeah.
turn sideways. I mean, it's like
Oh yeah.
it's time to get pulled by that dozer, man.
Yeah,
I've been there,
man.
done that. Yeah.
Um, but we had a lot of wild times. That was back in the cowboy days when anything went.
Yes,
And
sir.
today things have changed shape a little bit, and to prevent equipment breakdowns and accidents happening and people getting arms and legs blown off, and
Yes, sir.
uh So in some ways I miss them days, and other days I can kind of see where we're going, you
Yeah.
know. But
Yeah.
but I was fortunate enough, I guess you and I both were in that same age bracket, was fortunate enough to live in an era where we got to come up like that.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, free climbing, that's something that the students are like,
Yeah,
no way, no
that's
way, I could never do it. And I'm like,
it.
yeah, you could have, you could. We
Yeah,
thought we could never do it either when we started, right? It was like, oh, this is kind of wow.
yeah,
I was telling Samantha the other day, I said, we call them widow makers. That's what we call
yeah,
our hooks. Yeah, when he's coming
that's
up,
right.
yeah. So, but yeah, so we were fortunate to come up through those days, and the new generation just don't know how easy they got it.
Oh yeah, they got all the power tools. I mean, we used to have
Yeah,
squeeze H blocks with a press tool, and you had to have 3 arms to work that thing.
yeah, you did. Yeah,
Doing hot work.
yeah,
And
yeah.
but yeah, they got it made nowadays, but they're paying for us the way we used to get away with things back in the day with all the GPS and
Yeah, yeah,
computers.
that's we probably helped write a couple safety books, Jim.
That's right.
That's what everything is in that book. Somebody's tried it, right? So,
Oh yeah. Yep.
yeah, yeah, that's the reason it's a rule now. So, but yeah,
Man,
so
I
go ahead.
can't tell you how good it is to see you, dude.
Oh yeah, man, it's good visiting with you. Yeah,
Yeah.
shoot, man. Yeah, you've been me and you. We just like we're part gypsy, I think, man. We just can't
That's
stay in one place. We gotta get rolling again. I've been here too long. It's time for different scenery. I don't know.
man, because I have people tell me all the time, "Where are you from?" And I'm like, "What year?"
That's about the truth for me too, man. It's like I don't really have a home. I guess I don't know.
That's
I'm still looking for it. I'm still looking
yeah.
for it.
Got that right. That kinda reminds me of that old song that come out back in the '30s or '40s. It's, I can't I'll have to look it up and find the guy, the name that sings it, but the name of the song is "I Ain't Got a Home,"
Oh,
and
really?
things like
Okay.
a dog.
Sam, we're gonna have to look that song up. I don't got a home. We're
Yeah,
gonna have to look that up. We'll put
I
that in there. Sam will
yeah,
get that playing for us here. When we play this back, we'll have that song so
that's
people
right.
can hear this song.
Yep.
Yeah, so you liking it over there now in South Carolina? What's the weather like over there today?
Been
Sunny
pretty
skies or
well, it's been surprisingly mild, normally everywhere I've been, uh, August has been the hottest month of the year, and July had us beat by 20 degrees.
really?
Yeah, right now it's about 81,
Oh
and
man.
sun's out, no wind. I'm sitting in the shade on the porch, and we've had a really good August. And knocking on September, I'm ready to build a fire out on the porch and be able to huddle around and get a brisket on the smoker.
There you go. There you
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
Shoot, it's still Texas hot here, buddy. We don't get no
Oh
break
man,
in August.
come
It's still,
on, dude. Yeah,
it's still sweat rolling down your head, down
that's
the
right.
crack of your butt and everything. It's still,
Yeah, you
it's
bet,
still
man.
August here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's and you're up North Texas, up around Dallas, huh?
That's right, Dallas. Good old
Uh,
Dallas.
Okay.
Back to where I started. I started my first job in line work was in Louisville, which is just about 10 miles up the road from where I'm
Oh,
at now. So, yeah.
well, you got to tell me about your apprentice story.
Oh, which one, man? I
Oh,
tell people that's the reason I went into teaching because I was a very bad apprentice.
yeah, me too.
I tore a lot of stuff up, and one of the best stories of me as an apprentice was I just made what they called us energy technicians where I work because we did everything. You learned substation, transmission, underground, overhead, so you were just well rounded to do everything. So they called us energy technicians. So your energy technician 5 is what it would be a journeyman lineman. So I was a 4. I just made a 4. So once you make a 4, you're allowed to take call by yourself, right? So I was excited about those days. I thought, yeah, as an apprentice, you think you know more than the journeyman lineman, right? So,
Oh, yeah.
so I get a call for Logan's Roadhouse, right? And I pull up and I could tell they're single phasing, right? Because the lights are just flickering and everything. And so they were fed there with a 1500 kVA pad mount there. And it was fed from a switch gear. So the 2 months prior to that, we were on a job where we were in Louisville. They were building um, a big industrial park, right? So we've been setting all these pad mount transformers for a month, right? And all these pad mount transformers had a on-off switch. You could stick your shotgun in there and kill that secondary side, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it was dark, of course. So I'll run over and get the shotgun stick, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn that secondary side off and stop them from single phasing. So I grab the shotgun stick and put it on there and click it, and the
Yeah.
lights go out, and I think, all right, cool. All right, we're good to go. So I go over to switchgear and open the switchgear, and all 3 fuses are blown. I'm like, now how could all 3 fuses? It was single phasing. So I go back to the transformer, and I'd put the damn shotgun on the tap changer. I turned the tap changer, ripped the whole damn transformer, man. So here I go. About the first or second time I'd been on call by myself, and now here I got to call my foreman and tell him, oh, man, I thought
Yeah.
I'm done, man. They're going to gut me. I'm out of this place. I'm fired. But I guess that's when you realize that you're not that bad of a princess because, he took up for me, right? He took up
Yeah.
for me, and I didn't get fired. I got a good scolding and a lesson learned. And of course, idiot, you dumbass, I got all that. But it was always to me when I grew up there in Louisville, there was about 5 of us apprentices going through there at one time. So the good thing about it is we just had a joke. It's just you were only the dumbest apprentice there until the next apprentice done something. Then they forgot about what you did. They were on his ass. So,
Oh, yeah.
we would hug each other and be like, man, thanks for taking the heat off of me, when somebody else would screw up.
That's right.
Yeah.
So bad. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's something, man. But
Yeah.
tell me about what all states you worked in and
Man, so most of my career was all done in Texas as line work. I went to ELP program myself. They're in Trenton, Georgia. I went to that school, and then I was hired at week 12 in Louisville, Texas. So I come out of there and went straight to work in Louisville. Moved my whole family. I tell everybody it was for $13 an hour. Is what I
oh,
moved my whole family from Alabama to Texas for, back then. And $13 an hour was like a lot of money to me. I was making like $9 an hour. I was like, man, this is a big raise.
yeah.
And I hit it just kind of right there because the unions had already started. The journeyman unions had already started making a lot more money. So
That's
I hit it just right. I was there about a year, and then the pay scale went way up, right, because they were catching up with the unions. So man, I went from 13 to like 21 in a year. And man, I thought I was rich. I thought I was making big bucks.
right.
They started me out as a second year apprentice because I had background in electrical,
Mhm.
so I'd already worked 600 volts and a lot of 600 volts and lower. Knew how to work on transformers. Most of the machinery I worked on, everything was 480, so everything had a transformer, step it down to 12240 on it. So they had me second year apprentice. So I was third year apprentice making $21 an hour. Man, I thought I was like in seventh heaven, man.
Holy dude, that's
you know, and
good.
a lot of it was where I worked there. They a sister company bought us out, and they were union, right? And so we weren't union on this side. So to, it, to keep us from going union, pretty much, they bumped us up to union pay. So that's when I realized how much the union guys, man, those guys make the money, right?
Oh, yeah,
IBEW, that's where the guys make the
that's
money,
right.
right? So
That's
to
right.
this day, yeah, yeah.
You sure got that right.
But I did all my apprenticeship there in Louisville,
Mhm.
and then I just, yeah, still kind of, I was in my 30s, I think, and I just didn't like the city that much. I was country boy. At the time, my son was actually had to do a little time at juvie here in the city because he was a boy that couldn't keep his hands to himself like his father, right? And they had a no bullying system at school. This is a funny story. So he gets in a fight. He whoops some kid at the bus stop, right? It was making fun of him. So I get called to the principal's office, right? And zero tolerance. And I was like, well, it's a bus stop. Well, that's still considered school property, is what they tell me. They're like, they want to send us juvie. So I talk them out of the juvie thing. I talk them out. I'm like, let's just put him in school suspension for a few days. I'll talk with him. Uh, so I talked her out of it. I talked the principal out of it. So the very next day, she calls me and she said, I need you to come back to school today. And I'm like, okay, all right, And I'm like, and she said, I just don't say a word, just sit down. She said, oh, and she turned the camera on. There's my son standing up on top of the picnic table, slinging kids across the lunchroom, right? And I'm like, okay, tell me about this juvie school. There was no way getting out of that one, right? So he did 30 days in there, and it really did straighten him up. But one thing is, I just wanted to get him back to the country area, where the schools were more like what he was used to. So I took a job up in Nocona, Texas, right up there on the Red River. You know,
Okay.
worked a long time up there. Become foreman up there. And then I figured out that, your whole life you think you want to be a foreman. Yeah, I figured out that was a bad idea,
Right.
right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Being a foreman's tough, man. You're a
Oh,
glorified
man.
babysitter. The phone never stops ringing. You got the other mayors calling you, the city managers calling you all the time, wanting to know when the
That's right.
light's going to be on. And it's like, man,
Yeah.
it was like so stressful, you know.
Oh, yeah.
It's so I decided that my son had graduated high school. Kid went off and doing his own thing. So I decided I was just, my mom and dad lived down at Rockport, Texas. They still do. So I took a troubleman job, man, for a co-op. The easiest job I've ever had in my life. I mean, from anything I've ever done in my life, that was the easiest job. I just had an apprentice with me. We was keeping the lights on in George West and Beeville, Texas. About 3 little small towns. Man, just ride around, lights go out, we go fix it. And
Oh,
those
yeah.
guys had never uh, most of the co-op guys, they're trained by the other co-op guys, right? They're hired there, they're local kids usually, and so they'd never seen anybody that had all the knowledge of systems and stuff that I did. It was
Right.
just a pride thing, like me. Anytime I went to another area, I wanted to know where the fuses were, right? I want to know the system. So I'd give me a little 6-pack of Dos Equis at the time. I had an orange Jeep, and I'd ride around that Jeep all weekend, learning the system. So about
That's
3
it.
months, yeah, about 3 months, I knew where everything was. And so we had a big storm, and so the substation locked out. So I went down and isolated our breakers. 3-party dispatching, nothing to me. Done 1,000 million times, right? Called the substation, right? Had them heat the sub back up. All right, immediately as soon as I get off of it, my phone rings and it's district line for me. He's like, "Hey man, y'all stand down. They just heated that sub up on y'all." I'm like, "It's because I called them and told them to heat it up." I'm like, "Ain't that what you pay me to do?" He's like, "Carry on." I've never had anybody do that before. I always call him. He'd stuff up a lot. He's like, "Keep on." So we run down and got isolated the other break and got the other stuff. So we had the whole lights back on in about 2 hours because I knew where everything was. And they just couldn't believe it, how fast I got the lights back on, and I'm
Right.
calling for crews. I'm like, "Hey man, I need a bucket over here. We got a broken pole over here. We got to isolate on a set of switches. I got the breaker heated back up to that. That's where they'll need the ground, blah, blah, blah. On to the next outage, and getting it off. And then I need somebody over here. And like, man, they were just so amazed at the knowledge that I had, and
Yeah.
troubleshooting and everything. But man, it was an easy job. I actually bought the property right there beside the little construction center, man. It joined the property. So, I rode my Polaris to work, you know,
Oh,
just
man.
rode
Yeah.
my Polaris to work, man. It's right next door. It was like, it was a great gig. It was a great gig. I always tell them if I wouldn't have went to teaching and my buddy there, he's still the district line foreman. He begs me to come back to work all the time. And I'm like, if I ever go back, man, it's going to be to you. I
Oh,
promise.
yeah.
But I'm like, but yeah, co-op. I always joke, and heard them single phase linemen and stuff. But there's kind of some truth to that. You know what I mean? Them co-op guys, they don't have the time to jump on no big junction pole or everything. There's not enough of them. You know what I
Right,
mean? So.
right.
So thank God for the contractors, those guys,
You bet, man.
you bet, man, and especially the older I got, and doing 795 junction poles and stuff. And then once I made foreman and everything, and they told me, hey, here you go, man, you got $500,000 to spend. Well, that one's going to the contractors, right? We're not fucking with that. Give us a bid on that one. How much that going to cost, So, yeah. But so I work with a lot of contractors just through when I was a foreman, and just helping them lay out system. Usually, just like anybody, we put it on one shot for them, right, or did switching for them, whatever they needed, So I work with a lot of them, met a lot of cool guys,
Yeah,
in the contractor world. Sometimes we'd get union contractors, sometimes we wouldn't get union contractors,
right, right.
and you could tell a difference in the work with some of them. You know what I
Oh,
mean? Some of them, man, there was guys, they brought a crew in there one time, man, and this guy calls me. He don't have any Macs. He needs to borrow a Macs. I'm like,
yeah. Make
what
your
the yeah. Yeah, yeah. That's probably what he was going to do, but my project manager he was a stickler on that kind of stuff. He used to be a foreman himself, so um, okay. Uh, Man, it's good talking to you. So, tell me, so when you gonna retire?
when I'm pushing daisies up.
That's what most linemen say right there.
Yeah,
I get that. I had some of that in comments the other day because she put on there that,
yeah,
what do you do when you get old to climb? You start yapping. She's got a picture of me on a podcast, and then some of the guys are like, "I ain't quit till
yeah.
I'm 6 foot under." You
I,
know.
yeah, I really can't see retiring. For one, it takes money to retire. No. Two, man, I just every time I try to get out of the trade, it sucks me back in. It's like a vacuum cleaner, and I love it, because especially working with these young guys, man, that I tell them all the time, y'all are better for me than I am for y'all. Because we get out there, we get to joking around, cutting up, telling
Yeah.
jokes, and we get work done, and they learn a little bit of something, and it's good for everybody. And so I guess as far as I'm concerned, I'm going to be around. Kind of, I'll be around till I'm not around. you know.
Yeah, that's awesome. Man, yesterday it was hot out here, right? And so we were doing our single arm competency, yesterday with the class, and man, it was so hot. It was like sweat rolling off of me, and so the students go over, and I got two more that want to go, and it's quitting time, and you've seen them do this. They're like, man, just let us knock it out. Let us knock it
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
I'm like, all right, man, I'll let you guys knock it out. So one of them goes and we got a big umbrella on our picnic table, right? And so they start following me around, carrying this umbrella over my head where I'm going, keeping me out of the sun. And I'm like,
What
I'm like, man, you guys, just this kind of stuff they do to crack you up, man, makes you come back every day,
That's right.
Yeah.
As long as they don't bring you a beer.
Right, right, right. Yeah. They can't do that, but
You get an attaboy, huh?
yeah, yeah.
But
But
yeah, well, shoot. Yeah, well, I hope that the weather breaks here pretty soon for you and
yes, sir,
gets.
I think it's going to next week. So
I'm still jonesing for some of that 40 below we got out in Montana. If we could send some of that down here about now, we'd be golden.
man, I don't know about a 40 below.
Well, it could be 40 below, but by the time it gets here, maybe 50, 40, maybe I could deal with that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You ever worked the ice storm? I'm sure you have, right? You worked the
Oh,
ice
yeah.
storm.
That's
Yeah,
all we
man.
had was spring ice storms. Them lines that get caked up with ice, they'd rip arms and poles down. All we worked on was wood.
Yeah.
Of course, hell, the state population was 5, and so we was able to run 120 everywhere. That was our
Wow. Yeah.
transmission voltage.
Yeah. Cool.
I'm
Yeah.
pulling your leg. No,
Yeah.
ran 69 transmission, 41.6, 44 kV.
Yeah.
But yeah, we ran lower voltages because we just didn't have the population out there in Montana, Wyoming, North Dakota, and South Dakota.
Sure. Sure.
So
Yeah.
everything was pretty simple out there. And some of our towns ran off 4 kV, 2400 phase to ground. Most of our other stuff was just 7200, 12470. But um,
Yeah, we had a little 4160. I worked on that too. We
yeah,
had a little town about 600 people in it. I mean, you didn't even have to Mac. You just cut it up, wouldn't see nothing.
that's
No
right.
amps on the loud,
Yeah,
no amps on the loud.
yeah, yeah. But,
Yeah.
but yeah, let me punch off this. Battery's starting to run a little low, but yeah, gonna shout out going back to Louisiana in end of October. I'm gonna get to see some people I haven't seen in 45 years.
Wow, man. Wow. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You got to tell us how to do that jambalaya, man. You're just going to tell
Oh,
us how to cook that jambalaya.
oh man, you got to do it right. You can't be playing around with it. You got to get authentic stuff. It's got to be the right ingredients. It's just like I get all my sausage from Louisiana from
Mhm.
Billy Cracklin's. He's got a really good smoked green onion sausage. It's got a different texture to it than regular sausage. And then I get my jambalaya mix from Cajun Fry Products from Miss Landry, Joan Landry. She's kin to Troy Landry, the famous guy
Man, we know Troy. Heck yeah.
on Swamp People. I think that's
Mhm.
cousin, but I'm gonna go down there and visit with them and pick up some jambalaya mix, some sausage, and some boudin from about 5 different places. Uh,
How long you staying?
I'm gonna stay down in Pier Park. Uh, that's down on Lake Barrette, down there where Troy lives.
Yeah.
I've got a friend down there. He's got a houseboat. He's a Cajun, and he told me I could stay on the houseboat while I'm down there. And those are the folks that I haven't seen in 45 years. And
Wow.
anyway, his sister was the very first girlfriend I ever had.
All right.
So it's going to be kind of like a little reunion.
I see.
And go down and see all the Cavalier girls and who else? Probably some folks that I work with down in Morgan City, Louisiana. That's a little bit further south down by Lake Palour. And yeah, it's going to be a good trip down there.
Yeah, when you
But
get back, man, we're gonna have to get you back on here and you show us how to cook that jambalaya when you get all the good right
oh,
ingredients.
dude, I'll make a video step by step, and I guarantee
Yeah, that'll guarantee. I
you'll
remember
not
that.
find a better jambalaya than that.
Oh man, all right. We're looking
It's
forward to it.
but yeah, I'll do that, and we'll get together and talk a little bit about jambalaya and gumbo and maybe a little etouffee.
There you go. There you
Yeah,
go. Nothing like being on the road, man, and cooking with the guys, right? So,
that's right, man. You got to
yeah,
eat good.
yeah, you gotta eat. Yeah,
If
yeah.
you ain't eating good, you ain't living good.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. Well, buddy, I really enjoyed talking to you. We're gonna wrap it up here on Podcast Media. Thanks again for being on, man. I think people's gonna enjoy listening to us have a little chat today.
Oh,
So
man, it's been great.
yeah,
Really,
man.
you.
All right, man. Yeah. So tell Heidi I said hi.
I sure will.
All right, buddy. We'll talk to you later. Okay.
Take care, my brother.
You too, brother.
All right.